Let's get
Hi everyone, welcome to the Talking Hub podcast. I'm Maz, your host for the show. Today's guest is a CUD alumni, Justin Cortez, here to share his transfer to Canada experience and advice with us, all the way from CUD to Ryerson University, Toronto. Enjoy the episode. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. One of the first questions I wanted to ask you, if you could describe yourself in one word.
Adventurous.
Adventurous?
Yeah.
Could you tell me why?
Well, starting from an early age, I've never really been living in one single country because of my dad's work. So, oftentimes we would move a lot to different countries, and the fact that I moved a lot makes me like more open to trying new things and being more adventurous. So that's probably how I describe myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're always seeking new opportunities somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a person that believes in always trying to improve and also just trying out new things and trying to go out of your comfort zone, really.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. You're definitely very much outside of your comfort zone. Okay, so you started your journey here at CUD. How was your experience?
Oh, it was a great first year of university for sure. Going into university, I was definitely a bit nervous because I knew for a fact that it was just so different from high school, right? And the fact that you're just starting university life is very intimidating. But then once I started at CUD, it just it felt as if you were very comfortable. I was very comfortable, and I felt at home. So my first year was definitely memorable. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, of course, and I couldn't thank CUD enough for my first year of university.
Oh, that's so lovely. So what would you say one of your favorite memories here at CUD was?
Well, besides the learning, I enjoyed the camaraderie that I shared with my friends, basically, and as well as like the after school curriculars such as like the basketball team. I joined that one and had a lot of fun doing so, and those are some memories that I'll never forget, basically.
That's amazing. You were very involved in the after school curriculars and
yeah, definitely. Not as involved as I'd like, or would have wanted to be, but I think I did well for myself.
Yeah, that's lovely. So how did you feel your transition was to Ryerson, moving from Dubai?
Well, to tell you the truth, it is very different culturally. However, it's not like a bad different. It's just different, right? But it's the same hospitality that you would experience in Dubai and Toronto. So same hospitality, same motivation, same amount of brilliance and like expectation. So culturally there might have been a couple of differences, but it's not like a drastic difference.
But it's differences that you adapt to essentially.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And like being in a diverse city like Toronto, I'm sure it was similar to being in Dubai's diversity.
Very much similar. It's like once you get to Toronto, you just see so many people from different countries, and it's something that I'm proud to say I'm used to just because of how diverse Dubai is as well, the UAE, right? So you see multiple different countries represented here in the UAE, and that's basically the same thing you see in
same
Toronto.
Thing in Toronto, yeah, it's very, very diverse. And also they often call Toronto a little New York, right? Like a mini version of New York. Would you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that. So once you step foot in Toronto itself, especially in the heart of the city, you really feel as if you're in New York. A little smaller, of course, but like the differences aren't that big. One way that's similar to Dubai is a very fast-paced city. There's a lot of things going on happening at the same time. So yeah, like I said, the expectations of like being able to accomplish your goals, your tasks, and just being able to be a productive member of society. It's the same expectation for both Dubai and Toronto.
That's incredible. Yeah. So then obviously that leads us back to, your education and also transitioning from CUD to Ryerson. So do you feel like you adapted easily? Was there a difference in the education system, let's say, or the work pressure?
I felt like it was a smooth transition from CUD to Ryerson. I think when I first started in in CUD, right, the classes were 3 hours long. I first thought to myself that is way too long, but then the moment I moved to Ryerson, that's the same timings, right? So it's 3 hour classes as well. So I'm like, okay, I'm well equipped for this one. So in terms of that, and in terms of the curriculum and the way things are taught, it's basically the same thing.
And the same type of help, were you receiving help from your professors and your students, and making it easier for you to adapt to a new city and a new university?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you need help, you don't have to worry about knowing where to get help. You can always just ask your professor, like I did at CUD. The same thing I did at Ryerson. So if regular stuff that I have trouble understanding, I would just simply just go to the professor or collaborate with the other students, and it's the same thing I went through at CUD.
And the students at Ryerson were welcoming as well. And
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, because Toronto is just such a diverse culture. They are just so open to helping other people, right? Especially the new students like me, and that's just the same way that's the same thing I experienced at CUD, basically.
That's so nice. And I think also for students listening to this, that's very reassuring for them if they wanted to transfer over to Canada and they had anxieties and worries about this. I think, hearing your story and how helpful and friendly everyone was over there, and I'm sure it's the same at other universities in Canada, it's definitely very, very reassuring for them. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, why did you pick your major? What was your major, first of all?
Well, at Ryerson?
At Ryerson.
At Ryerson, I majored in Bachelor of Commerce Business Management with a focus on human resources.
Okay, and why did you choose to major in that?
Well, I started at CUD in international business, and I when I was picking what major to pick in Ryerson, I thought to myself, if business, this is what I initially did at CUD, so I said to myself, might as well continue that and learn more about the world of business. When it came to picking, when I chose the business management, Ryerson had this thing where you had to pick a concentration, right? So it was either accounting and finance, economics, global management, entrepreneurship, or human resources. So I ended up picking human resources. Yeah.
That's the career that you envision for yourself in your future?
Down the road, I definitely do see myself practicing human resources, just because that's the field of business where I find the most interesting, for sure. And there's just a lot of passion for me in practicing human resources. Yeah,
that's great. And I'm sure, obviously, with the support that you received at both CUG and Ryerson, it has prepared you for work in the real world and in the field that you want to go into.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the many similarities between CUD and Ryerson is always knowing how to prepare yourself for the real world, right? Yeah. So, it's not because the professors at both CUD and Ryerson want to give work for the sake of giving work, but it's just to help you manage your time, manage your skills, just so that when you get to the real world, it's just going to be like practice, really.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really, really good to hear. So I want to ask you, through your pathway and the diverse experiences you've had both in Dubai and in Toronto, is there any life lessons that you've learned and that you want to share with our listeners?
One thing I would like to preach, to tell people listening to this, just basically be open to new opportunities, right? And I'm not saying to take every opportunity that you see, but always be open and willing to explore. Just because you never know what kind of benefits it can get you, right? So when I first started at CUD, right, I first thought like, okay, maybe moving to Canada is a little unrealistic at the moment. But then I saw an opportunity, and I said to myself, why not? And it turned out to be an amazing decision for me, right? Because not only was I able to step out of my comfort zone, but I was also able to learn more about myself, not just in a professional sense, but from a personal sense as well.
And they always say that your best opportunities are outside of your comfort zone, and that's exactly what you did, and you've had an incredible experience. So I'm really, really happy to hear that. I just want to say thank you so much for sharing this moment with us and all of your experiences with us. You've already given very good advice to students that may want to move. Anything else you want to let them know? Any last pieces of advice? Or
if you were going to go to Canada, pack up your warm clothes. 'Cause you're, you're definitely gonna need it. And
Yeah,
I'm not just
definitely.
exaggerating.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It
you
was
so
lovely
much.
talking to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
and
having me.
Good luck on everything in your future. And
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to know more about what CUD has to offer, please visit www.cud.ac.ae and follow our socials to stay up to date, all linked below. See you next time.